The reason Nigeria can never be a better place. nnpc happens to be one of the biggest scam in the history of Nigeria. Imagine trillions of naira, they can't even account for it. Kudos to Senator Wadada, telling them, the nnpc boss, that those monies you must account for it. There's no hiding place. All these things has been happening. An open country that cannot cater for a citizen. All of us, the jackpot, those ones who they are home, if they have the opportunity, they go run come out. Country that was blessed by natural resources by God Almighty. Check other countries that have so much natural resources like Nigeria. All of them are doing well. Their citizens don't have the reason to jackpot come out for their country. But Nigeria, oh, hear them out.
This committee, which never ever had at no point ever said 210 trillion was missing or stolen from nnpc. But what this committee said, and it still says, and shall continue to say, unless proven otherwise, is that nnpc should and must account for 210 trillion. And I will briefly say that, of course, 210 trillion is mind-boggling, and hearing the numbers, one may not easily comprehend. The 210 trillion put together is or are made up by the liabilities and the assets part of the account. The liabilities, as shown in the literature of the financial statement, is 103 trillion. While the asset side, the receivables, is 107. If you put them together, the two will give you 210 trillion. Under normal accounting, is assets minus liabilities. But in this case, the liability figure, or the figure of the liabilities, haven't been substantiated to the committee. So that means it is not acceptable by the committee. So 103 trillion on the liability side is not acceptable to the committee because it has not been substantiated. Now on the receivables, in the books, of course, the liabilities are accrued expenses. And then the receivables, which now form the asset, as 107 trillion, those items haven't been really substantiated to the committee for them to be accepted or acceptable to the committee. So if you put them together, we are looking at, we want the liabilities to be accounted for so that we will be convinced under the auspices of accounting or principles of accounting that, yes, we are satisfied with these the figures that stand for as liabilities and as well as the assets. So that's we are looking at, and so many other issues that are related to the audited financial statement. Distinguished colleagues, our guests, members of the press, ladies and gentlemen, there is nothing out of the 18 or 19 questions you can.
I cannot interrupt my chairman.
can do that in the chamber, but here I have authority. These are the issues. And permit me to say, none of the 18, 19, or 20 questions we have from NNPC, or we have for NNPC, came from any of the constituencies or the senatorial district we represent. Neither did it come from the executive or the judiciary, nor have they come from Ghana or anywhere. They are questions extracted from the audited financial statement of NNPC. Because we need to be educated on this side of the divide so that we disseminate that you give to us to the citizenry. Then they will appreciate us together. Having said this, I am a bit taken aback that the extent, from the faces I had seen before today, reflecting on the external auditor's side, none is here. And because it is about audited financial statement, NNPC is here as the client. Some of the responses may definitely require, or some of the questions, may require response from the external auditors. But since we have an NNPC here that we have long awaited, I think it may be in the wisdom of the committee, of course, vis-a-vis my respected, distinguished colleagues, that we may have to take, if NNPC is ready to answer all. Having said this, I now declare today's session open, unless one or two colleagues have what to say. Otherwise, the next item on the agenda is NNPCL response to issues from the audited financial statement. Right?
Yes. The GCO, when I was introducing myself, I said, we're happy to have you because we've been waiting for you, like the chairman stated. One thing that is to be stated clearly is that what we are doing is something that is very crucial. We need transparency, and the NNPC, you understand, its position in the economic life of this country. If you go and look at other clients where God blessed them with such resources we have as crude oil, like Dubai, UAE, and the rest of them, you see the transformation going on there. And here in Nigeria, the general view is that our resources have been badly mismanaged. And waiting for you to come, and we didn't see you for the time we adjourned to see you severally. It looked like we were having issues with you. We are not having any issues with you. You just came. You just joined the group as the GCEO. And the issues raised cover 2017 to 2023 when you hadn't come in here. So we were expecting that you would be happy to meet us immediately and clearly state that you just started. And the books under question are things you need to go through and come back. But snubbing this committee created an impression of you not having any answers to the questions raised. But now that you have come, we're happy that you are here. First of all, from my own side, I will support what the chairman has said on the numbers that have been read out and all the queries raised, about 109 questions here. Unfortunately, the external auditors who were looking for you, they were always here. Now that you came, they were not here. So we are surprised that the external auditors are not here. The chairman, I will say that we cannot adjourn because they are not here.
Yeah, of course.
Yes, we cannot adjourn. You have detailed issues that have been raised in the financial statements. The clerk, understand, is bringing our own copies. Now, we took excuse to bring our own copies. So let me pause and say that you go away from here today knowing that this exercise, Nigerians are interested in it. Because 210 trillion, when anybody hears it, he may not sleep again for 1 year. And we believe that your presence here will help us to unravel those issues and put the correct perspective to this committee so that we'll be able to tell our people who have been seeing us here every day we sit, you will not appear, it will be in the news, and they kept on asking why you have not come. So I believe that now that you are here, you'll be able to say something that Nigerians will hear to this committee, to know that we're still working together for the good of this country. Thank you very much. That's my comment for now.
Yeah. Thank you very much, distinguished colleague, for that well articulated comment or remarks. I think at this point the GCEO you have the floor to respond to the issues. I don't know if you will want us to take them all over, but questions. He hasn't.
The chairman, the clerk.
Start by thanking you for your understanding of when I just came in and the initial adjustments. I saw that in the first response and also the first representation. On the first count, Mr. Chairman, sir, as you have said, I've just come into a huge organization, which you probably know more than me, from a private sector. And there was so much to understand. And when I came in, I did right to make a plea for some time to let me understand what is on ground. And one of the major reasons, and Mr. Chairman, if you recall, when I came in within the first 2 weeks, I wrote a letter to plead for some time because one of the major reasons was that exactly because of some of the things you've said around the significance of nnpc to our nation, I wanted to take my time with the new leadership team to understand where things are. Otherwise, I might just be giving wrong answers or giving impressions that may not be appropriate. So thank you for giving me that time to start doing that work. The first invitation, unfortunately, coincided with when I was out of the country. I did write to seek your forgiveness. At that time, it was not also clear to me that I still thought maybe there will be some progress, and when I came back, I'll be able to follow up. So my sincere apologies, Mr. Chairman, sir. and distinguished senators. It was not intended and it was not out of disrespect. The second invitation also came when I was on a national assignment, which was in the context of me still just finding my feet. I also couldn't make a quick turnaround. So please permit me. For some of you who may have checked my records, I've always been present on time, even possibly ahead of time, in my previous assignments as MD of and as executive of my previous company. I'm always here before the Senate event to come and check, get educated, get guidance, and so this is not my character. So again, I apologize for any impression that may have been created. Mr. Chairman, sir, and distinguished senators, I've just been over 100 days in this job. Couple of months after, and I can still say to you that there is so much that I'm still on my own doing to check the baseline of where things are across the company, and it's a Herculean task. On this particular matter, Mr. Chairman, sir, and distinguished senators, I think your commentary today also brings a clearer perspective to what I actually thought was the issue. So there's quite some further digging I have to do myself. I want to plead, Mr. Chairman, sir, to kindly give me some time to just dig into the perspective on the issue that you have raised. I have not gotten that perspective before now. The perspective I had was slightly different. Yeah, no problem, Mr. Chairman, sir. So, Mr. Chairman, sir, I wanted to repeat my plea and your continuous understanding that you've gotten me in a significant and very huge national assignment, which I've been grappling with production, Mr. Chairman, sir, which we all need for prosperity. I've been running around everywhere trying to look for how to make sure that we arrest the decline. And now that I'm aware of this issue, and also the explanation you've just given now, it changes my own perspective completely in terms of what the real focus and what the real concern is. And I would like to plead with you, Mr. Chairman, sir, and the senators, to please give me some time to quick look into this specific perspective that you have given. Personally, I need to understand that as CEO, I need to understand these issues myself, so that I can ensure appropriate representation whenever we have to appear before you. I will also make a plea, Mr. Chairman, sir. The technicalities of these details, if you could permit me to ensure that at least I have a crack team of about 3 to 4 people specifically to dig into these questions. I was asking my CFO if he has a copy, because I don't think, no matter how much we try, that we can give you satisfactory response on those questions right now. But if we can allow us to have the team with us, and if they're able to work with any group you think appropriate, at least get the detail properly reconciled. If you can give us that privilege, Mr. Chairman, that would be very much appreciated. I'm also quite yeah, Mr. Chairman, sir, you also comment around the external auditors. I think today, and you're probably right, part of it was my fault, because I still think there are some questions we ourselves need to ask them, sir. So when I was coming, I asked my team that I want to come here. Of course, I didn't realize some of the context to come and make sure that I take responsibility fully for all the things that we needed to do. So I didn't push. So I will make that correction in our next appearance. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman, sir. Distinguished senators.
Thank you. Thank you.
After hearing the group CEO, and unfortunately the auditors are not here, which he has equally given us also a better understanding why they are not here, that he also or their team will also want to dig into some happenings to also ask questions to their auditors. I think we will appreciate that they do this in good time, and in the spirit of trying to unravel all what we have earlier canvassed for. I would also, or I would like to trend on the request of the GCO that we should give time for them to, on their own, also scrutinize what their auditors have done, and if possible, we also raise a team of our own in-house subcommittee that will probably work with the team from the NNPCL so as to streamline and put most of these gray areas into proper perspective, so that by the time we meet next, we will now know that we've streamlined our areas of concentration. If it is the auditors that in some areas need to do better clarity, so as to reduce this engagement and be able to come out with something that can, as quickly as possible, give clarity to most of the issues at hand. So I want to submit and rest my case for now.
Senator.
What happened in those documents? What I want to leave, whatever decision we take now, I will want the GMD, CEO, when they are responding to the questions, to tell us and tell Nigerians whether those auditors are still auditing NNPC, and what will be the outcome, whatever result comes out from this, from those auditors that audited this account. If it is in other countries, those audit firms should have been yes. So we want to know, for misleading Nigerians, giving us false information about the record of NNPC, what will be the stand of NNPC against those audit firms? Thank you.
Well, it's on record that we've written you repeatedly for explanation on this very huge financial infraction. But in the spirit of fair hearing, which entails ample opportunity for one to put up his defense, considering the volume of money involved, 210 trillion, and also taking into account that you were appointed sometime in February this year, April this year. Okay. So I'm in agreement with the submission of my colleagues to give you more time to look at these issues and respond adequately. So, Mr. Chairman, I shall be asking for additional 14 days. My Chairman, I have to be specific. I'm suggesting 14 days to enable him put his house in order and respond to the issues, which I think is enough time to so do. Thank you.
I'm not host rider. Thank you, Chairman. GMD and your team, I appreciate finally you have made it here. Mr. Chairman, I think my comments centers around the need for the management team to look at the issues raised in the audit report and report back concisely to the committee. I have taken cognizance of the fact that it is a new management team, barely 5-6 months in office. But you see, governance is a continuum. It doesn't matter if you are appointed yesterday, you carry the assets and the liability of your predecessor. And I think here I hold the singular distinction of having been there and here as well. So I know what it means. But having said all of that, I just want to draw your attention, GMD, to the fact that the issues that are raised in the audit report are germane and critical. In fact, the audit queries themselves, all of them, and your responses to them are critical to the fiscal stability of this administration, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration. We are all aware of the renewal of agenda and the need to cater for the need of Nigerians. And nnpc holds the most important responsibility of making this happen. So I just want you to put it at the back of your mind that these issues must be raised and must be treated with dispatch. I'm most concerned about the inconsistent financial report of the nnpc, which are issues raised in the audit report. That has to be checked, and under your watch, we will expect to see a lot of changes. Secondly, the operational model that the audit reports have all raised regarding the unsustainability, I think those are issues you should also look into. I'm not averse to the idea of granting permission and granting extension, but we must do it with sense of responsibility. Nigerians are watching, and we cannot afford to give you the latitude to just continue and treat this matter with levity. We must expect a timeline, and responsible and reasonable timeline by which these audit queries will be addressed. If there is a need for extension of time, let it be incremental. When you have answered and treated some issues, come back to the committee, Mr. Chairman, sir, and seek for additional time that I have done this and I need time to continue to do this and that. That constructive engagement is critical to the success of this exercise. Chairman, thank you very much. Those are my contributions.
But Senator Onyekachimwebon said all the altering party here the other side, element of natural justice.
Exactly.
There seems to be a communication gap, as Senator Abbas said, but it's very important and germane that we should give them that fair hearing. Actually, committee has tried by all this extension. Committee has done a lot. Nigerians are waiting, expecting to know what will come out of this. But to get the facts straight, and for the NNPCL, led by the new DCO, to be able to brief us, maybe the audited reports might not be correct. It might be correct. Let's know what actually went wrong. It's good and germane that we should have a timeline when to say, come back with facts so that DCO can brief us properly, so that tomorrow they will not say they did not exhaust all the available means to be able to express themselves. So I align with those my colleagues to appeal that we should be able to grant them that permission.
Okay.
Thank you.
The only little addition is that GCO appears to not be very comfortable with the report of the external auditors, because he said he also have some questions to ask them. I think that's what he said. That you have some questions to ask them too.
Yes, distinguished Senator, some clarification, engage them. I have not engaged them directly myself, and I will do that.
Okay,
because
so
when I'm sitting here, I want to be sure I know what I'm saying.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, because
It is shameful that this is the place we find ourselves. After putting so much resources into NNPC refinery in Port Harcourt just to refurbish it, up till now, it's still not functional, and nobody is being held accountable. I strongly believe that after shaking this man, probably he will go and lawyer to some godfathers. In the end, everything will quiet down, because that money we are talking about does not just enter his pocket alone. So many bourgeois, so many persons who believe that Nigeria belongs to them are those who are using some of these men out there just to siphon and make Nigeria dry. Imagine an open country that's supposed to be enjoying every basic amenities. All the citizens, majority of them, are jackpot, and the few ones that are back home, if they have the opportunity, they will not stay. It's a shame.